Climate change is not waiting for us to catch up. We have to be more innovative. We have to be more active, not just in application, in implementation, but in advocacy.
The Adaptation Futures Conference is one of the prime conferences in the world on adaptation interventions in developing countries, which brings together policymakers, academia, researchers to share knowledge and to find adaptation solutions. The Adaptation Futures Conference aligns with the mandate of the Adaptation Fund, extracting the solutions, disseminating them, and finding ways to replicate them and scale them up.
It's really the opportunity to learn from so many different experts, but also from so many different communities and local people that are kind of experiencing climate change in ways that might be similar, but also that might be different as well.
How do we bridge between traditional knowledge, technology, and innovative practices? Combining these three things is a really good formula for us to be really having impactful investments at the community level.
And having this meeting here in the Pacific has been special because it's enabled early career and mid-career researchers from around the Pacific to be able to come and learn and be at the cutting edge of new ideas in a way that's not often possible when it's in the Northern Hemisphere. It's more expensive or difficult to get to.
Being able to come here to see what helps us to better align our priorities, to see what are we missing, what is it that we can do better.
1% of climate finance has gone into Indigenous communities, and they're the communities that are disproportionately impacted. There's a lot of learnings that the world could take from traditional knowledge holders and Indigenous peoples in terms of the solutions that you're trying to find to adaptation.
We have thousands of years of experience of being in sustainable relationships with the land, and that really is what climate change is just a disturbance of that relationship with the land.
We need to bring everybody relevant to any project that we're developing.
Whether you live in a mountainous country or a low-lying coral atoll, the challenge that we all have in common is climate change. We do, as a region, work together, we move together, and we amplify a really strong Pacific voice.
Adaptation has a special significance in the Pacific. Given so many islands in the Pacific are vulnerable to climate change, it's imperative to adapt sustainably.
The negative impact of climate change is the sea level rise, the sun erosion, flooding, and also the long-term period of dry season.
Although we're in the Caribbean, we see how the Pacific Islands are facing similar challenges to us. We see some of the innovations that they are also implementing are similar to what we're implementing. The beauty of the Adaptation Fund is that their projects help us to adapt a lot faster to climate change. We've had projects that look at local community level resilience, ecosystem adaptation interventions, as well as we've been able to access financing for innovation projects so that we can be able to adapt much better to climate change.
The Adaptation Fund really come in as a partner. They were a critical foundation sponsor for Adaptation Futures, and their openness to understanding and changing their ways of working in response to communities' needs is really helpful.
Something that's really important to the Adaptation Fund is ensuring that different voices can be heard.
In our communities, there's an understanding that youth are responsible and will be responsible for passing down the culture, the knowledge, and the language. Indigenous people, Indigenous youth are already leaders in our own right, and it is really just time to acknowledge that in the formal sense, include us on decision-making tables, include us right at the beginning.
It's really been an important meeting for building up relationships that will be able to carry this mission and process of protecting our planet and the people that live in it and our biodiversity into the future. The relationships that are formed at Adaptation Futures are relationships that deepen and become extremely protective and supportive for the future.